In my previous video, I showed one solutions when I tried to remotely control my Nikon camera using Wi-Fi connection, a snap bridge, which unfortunately didn't work because of wet conditions. And today I will show two other solutions which actually work, both on dry land and in wet conditions or even for diving. One of them involves USB cable, so-called tethered shooting with the USB cable and computer and laptop. And the other one is using HDMI cable and external monitor, like a Thomas or similar external monitor. My name is Michael and you are watching Nordic Talk for Wildlife Photographers on Photality Natura channel. Welcome. Hello guys, and welcome back to my nerdy talk about wildlife photography and equipment I use for wildlife photography. So recently I was experimenting a lot with remotely controlling my camera, and it's Nikon Z9 I use mostly. Excellent camera, and there is a good inbuilt feature for it for remote control using Wi-Fi, but unfortunately in wet conditions, for example, have a split level shot with half of the shot above the surface and half of below the water surface to film the frogs and their mating behavior in the pond. And in this setting the Wi-Fi connection didn't work. And of course there is a Nauticam housing for underwater filming. It's blocking some Wi-Fi signal, and water does it as well. But today I was back on that local pond and actually succeeded to remotely control the camera using this solution, and it's a tethered cable from a brand called Area 51. And actually there is other brand tether tools which I purchased first and tried first, but unfortunately this cable didn't cooperate with Nikon Z9. And I must say there is some mysteries involved in this kind of tether solutions, cables. And for example, tether tools cable sometimes does not go well with Nikon Z9, but it works fine with other camera brands. But this one works nice with Nikon and most camera brands, but it can be issues with Fujifilm cameras. So it's a mystery. And they also say that sometimes it's important how to connect the cable. You should connect this to your laptop first, power laptop. After powering it, wait for a few seconds, then connect it to the camera and start the camera, turn camera on. This is the best, the most proper way to connect it. But this cable and this camera works very nice together, and so far I didn't have any problems with using it. This cable is also reasonably long. It's 9.6 meter long, and it's good for wildlife photography. You need to stay away from your subject. So this is a solution. I put it inside this way, and I have some extra sealing using a wine cork. It's Bordeaux 2012, excellent, but you could use some laboratory stuff. And you put this on this cable, and also you should be cautious. This cable is sensitive, and do not get violent about this cable. So this way and this you can tight. Actually it can be sealed very tight, so it stays like vacuum. You can put your vacuum pump and keep vacuum inside. It's possible, but nevertheless I would not go below the surface with this homemade solution. It's just for like wet conditions, like filming amphibians on this, exactly on the surface, or maybe in heavy raining conditions, something like this. But not for diving. Then, actually, if you want to go below the water and still be remotely controlling your camera, there is another like official solution for this, and this is using HDMI cable and external monitor. So this is Nauticam external monitor housing and HDMI cable. So you connect this to a camera, turning on, connect your external monitor, turning on. And so yeah, you see the picture, and you can start you can see it's filming. You can start the recording. You can stop the recording, and you can have excellent controls for your exposure and the focus peaking, stuff like that. And in some cameras there is also better possibility for better image quality, since you can record in ProRes RAW or stuff like that. But I'm quite satisfied with the image quality direct from camera. Nikon Z9, I mean, it's excellent video quality right out of the camera. The advantage of this solution is, of course, you can go to 100 meters. It's officially rated to 100 meters with this solution, and there is a cable which is 15 meters long to the surface monitor. You can connect it. It's a damn expensive cable. 650 euros or something like that, but if you don't like to go diving and just monitor from outside, you can use it. And yeah, so these are the options available, and I'm very excited to see what these modern technical solutions can give for the wildlife videography, wildlife photography settings. And I will keep experimenting a lot with this during this season. In Sweden, it's summer, of course, it's the best season for wildlife. Both on wet conditions on land everywhere, so life is just exploding during the summer months. So see you around, and please let me know what you think about this kind of solutions for remote controlling cameras. Do you use it? How do you use it? It's good to know. For example, I would love to know if it's possible to extend the Wi-Fi range to be controlling this camera using snap bridge on longer distances, and not in water, of course, on land, but still. So this is a question I'd like to know what you think, and yeah, everything else related to this. So let's go out and do some filming together. Hello guys, I'm back to this local pond with frogs living in it. And now I installed the camera Z9 and achieved that split level image which I desired and failed to achieve last time. So this is the setup. The cable goes, it's a USB cable from Area 51 company. It's the brand calls Area 51, 9.5 meters long cable going to the underwater housing, and then to my laptop, my Mac. So pure technicality is working very good, and I can control the camera the way I want. But unfortunately the mating season for the frogs is over, so it's they're not visible. They are in the pond, but they're not visible. They're just hiding and very cautious now. So I missed this opportunity with big camera, but I still have my videos taken on the small camera. You can see it earlier previous videos. And so as for wildlife photography, is always the timing is much more important than the equipment you use. So the timing is everything. So yeah, I will certainly be back with this equipment next year. But before that, we will follow the development of tadpoles, hopefully. But I need to change the lens next time to the macro lens and try to follow the development of tadpoles. See you later.